The HOA demolished my chicken coop, and it was a nightmare, but I think I got them back. In a way that was even worse. The HOA had already warned me several times about my backyard chicken coop. I had 6 chickens in there, and they wanted me to get rid of them. They said that it violated the rules of our neighborhood agreement. So I took the chickens out, and I took down the chicken coop so I could rebuild it and make it better. But when I went out to the backyard, I saw that they had come and demolished it while I was at work. I was really upset, but I knew that they were right. I had known from the beginning that the HOA would be a problem, so I should have expected this to happen eventually. So I spent the next couple of weeks rebuilding the chicken coop. I made it smaller this time, but I made it look really nice. It has a little porch and a ramp, and the chickens can go upstairs now. And I thought that maybe if I made it look nicer, the HOA wouldn't have a problem with it. But a couple of weeks after I finished it, I got a letter from the HOA saying that I had to get rid of it because it was a structure and we weren't allowed to have structures in our backyards. I tried talking to them, and I even offered to buy them pizzas if they would just let me keep my chickens, but they weren't budging. So I had to come up with a plan to get rid of the chickens without the HOA demolishing the coop again. I decided to get rid of the chickens one by one to find new homes for them. I gave away all but 2 of my chickens. I was going to give these 2 chickens away too, but then I decided to keep them as pets instead. They live in my house now. They're not laying eggs, but I feed them and I love on them, and they give me lots of entertainment. But every time I got a new home for one of the chickens, I would take it down a notch so that the HOA wouldn't be able to use that as evidence against me. I didn't want them to know that I still had chickens. So I took the chicken coops down and I put the chickens in doghouses. Then I put those in the garage. I got a couple of doghouses and I made it look like I was taking care of dogs. I even put up a sign that said, "Beware of dog." Even though there wasn't a dog in there, I figured that if the HOA came to my house and saw that I had a couple of big dogs in there, they wouldn't want to mess with me. A few months went by and I never heard from the HOA again, which I took as a win. I was secretly keeping my chickens and I was making them into delicious meals. I was even selling some of the extra eggs to my neighbors. One day, though, I noticed that the garbage wasn't being picked up when the garbage trucks came by. They drove right past my house. I looked at the calendar, and it wasn't a missed pickup day. So I called the garbage company and asked them what was going on. The lady on the phone told me that my account was closed because someone had requested that they stop picking up my garbage. I immediately knew who it was. It was the HOA. I was so mad. I had been nice to them. I had been respectful, and this is how they treated me. They literally took away my garbage service. It was the worst punishment ever. I told the lady on the phone to just cancel my account. I didn't even bother arguing with her. I hung up and I started digging a hole in my backyard. I was going to make a giant compost pile and I was going to start feeding the chickens in there. The next day, the HOA showed up at my house to check up on my compliance. They wanted to see if I had gotten rid of the chickens. They were probably expecting to see a couple of sad chickens pecking around in the dirt. What they didn't expect to see was me carrying out buckets of kitchen scraps and throwing them in a giant compost pile in my backyard. They also didn't expect to see 2 very happy chickens scratching around in the dirt looking for food. I know that this story has a happy ending for me, but please don't take my advice. Don't keep chickens in your house. Don't do what I did I know that it seems like fun at first, but trust me, it's not. Worth it. Chickens are loud and they smell and they poop everywhere and they're messy. I don't recommend it.